Hello, everyone, and welcome to our latest online event, part of our Become a Bobcat, a virtual series. We're thrilled that you could join us this evening. My name is Ricky Hill, and I'm an e-recruiter and engagement specialist here at UC Merced. Before we get started, let me give you a couple of quick tips to follow along. If you would like to adjust your audio settings, you can do so in the lower left corner of your screen by clicking the audio settings button. If you would like to adjust the size of your window, you can do so by clicking View Options in the upper portion of your screen. Lastly, and most importantly, we would love to hear from you this evening. We are here and fully staffed, ready to get to your questions. You can send in your questions by clicking the Q&A button in the lower portion of the screen. Go ahead and send those in, and we are fully staffed behind the scenes to get to those. As well, if you stick around to the end of this event, we will also give you a live question and answer session. So please stick around for that. Before we do get started, I'd like to give you a little bit more information of what Become a Bobcat, a virtual series, actually is. We are offering you over 40 different virtual events just like this one. Some of them have already occurred over the past couple of weeks, but don't worry, we have those offered to you as a replay through our YouTube channel. We also have a website exclusively set up for Become a Bobcat, a virtual series. You can take a look there and find those replay links, as well as all of the upcoming events that haven't happened quite yet. You can get yourself registered for things like pre-health, which is coming up this Saturday. Next week, we also have a few more events focused on summer orientation, as well as the Guardian Scholars program, so you can find out what that's all about. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. Tonight, we will be talking about the Count Me In program for first-year students. Let me go ahead and do a quick overview of our upcoming agenda. In just a few moments, you will be receiving a warm welcome from our Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs. Next, we will touch on why you should select the University of California, Merced. We also want to give you a little bit more information about what the Count Me In program is all about. We will offer you a live demonstration as well. We also have for you tonight the next steps timeline so that you know exactly what dates and deadlines you need to be aware of. Lastly, we will have that live Q&A session and include a student highlight panel. At this time, once again, my name is Ricky Hill. It is a great pleasure to be here with you. We are thrilled that you are here to join us. At this time, I would like to send things over to our Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs, Dr. Charles Neese.
Thanks, Ricky, and thank you all for joining us tonight. It's always great to have you come in and learn more about the University of California, Merced. I want to start by congratulating all of the scholars that have joined us tonight, all of you that are in your senior year. You have clearly accomplished a lot in your academic career that has qualified you for admissions to the University of California. So if we don't start tonight by saying congratulations, we've missed the point, because you have worked hard and you need to be honored and recognized for all of that hard work that you have done. And I know that there might be some parents and family members and siblings who are also listening in and being part of this conversation. I want to congratulate you all as well. As a father of two high schoolers who have been learning at home for this past year, I know how much hard work we all do as family members in supporting our scholars in accomplishing their goals and doing what they can. So congratulations to all of you and the incredible support that you have playing in supporting your scholars as they've moved forward. You know, I'm sure that you all know that the University of California is well known as the premier research university system in the world. And so congratulations to you. And UC Merced is part of that system, part of that commitment to excellence in research, teaching, and public service. Now, I know that some of you may not have had UC Merced on your radar previously, but I want to let you know what makes UC Merced distinctive from the nine undergraduate campuses in the UC system. And that is that commitment to research excellence, as well as teaching excellence and public service, is really at the heart of what UC Merced does. And you as undergraduate students will have an opportunity to be engaged in and connected with all of that. From that research standpoint, our faculty are getting a constant recognition for the amazing creation of new knowledge that they are doing here at UC Merced. And one of the exciting pieces is that our undergraduate students are engaged in that research with them. We know that over 60% of our undergraduates are working with faculty outside of the classroom to create that new knowledge, to generate those creative projects from documentary films to helping to discover cures for melanoma cancer, all of that amazing research that is happening right here on our campus. And our undergraduate students are able to be a part of that and able to contribute to that creation of new knowledge. The other piece that we are known for is excellence in teaching. And UC Merced, we've been able to build some of the most state-of-the-art spaces. In fact, some of them opened up this past summer, and we haven't even used them yet. So as new students coming to our campus, you will be some of the first to go into these great state-of-the-art teaching experiences where we have designed our classrooms to really facilitate your knowledge and really facilitate how you learn as we create project-based learning opportunities for you here at UC Merced. And that is our commitment to excellence in teaching. And then thirdly, our commitment to excellence in public service. More than 60% of our undergraduate students are taking the knowledge that they are learning in the classroom and they're applying it in our surrounding communities. And they're bringing that knowledge to work with partners in our community to do good and to create that positive change. And that's a really important element. We know from employers across the country that some of the things that they look for are students' abilities to engage in teams and problem solve, to be leaders and to stand out and make a difference, as well as to take the knowledge that they are learning in the classroom and apply it to a project-based setting so that they can make a difference in our world. And that is stuff that all of our students are doing here at UC Merced, and you would have the opportunity as well. And that is part of what makes UC Merced really distinctive, is that the size of our campus opens up those opportunities for you as scholars to really engage with our faculty, engage with our community, and engage with one another in powerful ways to make a difference. In the fall, we plan to be in person. And so we know that 100% of our instruction at this point in time plans to be in person. So we would welcome you back to Merced. We also have our residence halls available, and we are prioritizing our incoming new students for those options to live on campus, as that is what they choose. And so know that that is all part of our planning, and that we hope that you would consider and want to be a part of that experience. And tonight's journey and learning more about UC Merced and what the Count Me In program is all about is a way for you to get a taste of who UC Merced is, as we welcome you to consider the Bobcat family as part of the way for you to accomplish your educational goals and achieve that student success that we strive for here at UC Merced. So thank you for joining the conversation tonight. And with that, I'll turn it over to Ricky to continue on with our program.
Thank you so much, Charles, for that warm welcome. And once again, thank you to our audience for joining us. We have quite the large group on with us. Please continue to send in your questions using the Q&A button if you do have those. We will be getting to those behind the scenes, as well as at the end of this event in a live question and answer session. All right, at this time, let's move on to the next portion of our programming this evening. We are joined tonight, fully staffed behind the scenes, but also on screen. I will have a couple of my colleagues from the Admissions and Outreach Department be joining us. So Jason, Ashley, and Julissa, you will be hearing from them in just a moment. At this time, let's go ahead and get our program kicked off with Ashley.
Hi, thank you, Ricky. Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley. I'm a Regional Admissions Advisor in Southern California. I'm also a UC Merced alumnus, so I have lots of experience and knowledge to share about how it is to attend UC Merced. And so now we will go into why UC Merced and a little bit about the campus. We opened up in 2005, so we are only 15 years old. We are the newest addition to the UC system. We are in the Central Valley. Like we like to say, we're located in the middle of everything, in the heart of California, because of its proximity to the cities around us and the proximity to Yosemite National Park. So to give you a little bit of context, the Bay Area, which includes San Francisco, San Jose, Santa Cruz, Monterey Bay, that's about 2 hours away from the campus. And then we have Sacramento, where our state capital is. That's also about 2 hours away. And then Los Angeles area, if you are from there, that's about 4.5 hours away. So good enough distance to get away from home, but close enough if you want to go home on the weekends or during the holidays. And then we do have Yosemite about 60 miles away, but it's very accessible to get from our campus. And we also do have some very unique opportunities and partnerships with the national park. So a little bit about the city of Merced. As our university grows, so does our community. And although we are a small town, we have everything that you need in the city of Merced. We have a Target, we have a Costco, a Starbucks, and a lot of great dining, such good food in Merced, lots of coffee shops, and we also have a lot of things for our students to do. There's a movie theater, bowling alley. We do have a local theater where you can see a lot of our staff, faculty, students perform along with the Merced community. We do have Lake Yosemite, which is only about a 5-minute walk from campus. Students do like to go there after class or on the weekend, get some fresh air, do some barbecues with their friends or clubs and organizations. So it's really nice to have that so close to campus and be able to utilize that to go out, and you can walk there and it's free. And as our university starts to grow, or our university is growing rapidly. In the last 4 years, we've doubled our campus size. We've added about 13 new buildings, and this project is now completed. It was completed in the fall of 2020, and as the Vice Chancellor mentioned, you might be one of the first ones to be utilizing a lot of these buildings because since we were in a pandemic last year, we didn't have many students on campus. We've added new housing, we've added a newer dining center, academic and research buildings, competitive and recreational soccer fields, swimming pool, and so many more facilities that our students utilize. And it's just going to continue to grow, as the years go by. And we are offering many opportunities for you to see our campus. We do have lots of virtual options as well. So we do have family tours. Pre-registration is required. A student tour guide will take you and your family on a 60-minute virtual campus tour and show you around our beautiful and expanding campus. We also have drone tours available. So there is a 4-part drone tour that you can see. It's an aerial view of our campus. It is also guided through one of our tour guides, pointing out the different buildings as it's flying by through our campus. And we also have a Spanish version. So if you have any Spanish-speaking family members or parents that would also like to learn about our university, we do have that option as well. And so you can visit our website, tours.ucmerced.edu, to view more information on these virtual options. And if you would like to see the campus in person, we are offering a very unique but fun experience. You can visit the campus by driving through it in the comfort of your own car. Pre-registration is also required. We offer tours Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can visit our website, drivethrough.ucmerced.edu, to register or to learn more about how you can visit our campus. And here is a nice snapshot of our undergraduate student profile. Given that we are the youngest and newest UC, we are also the smallest in student population. So right now we have about 9,000 undergraduate students. We really do offer that intimate private school atmosphere, so you get to really connect with your professors on a one-to-one basis. And because of that small campus, a lot of students here are able to attain and take advantage of the resources available. And also, we do have the highest percentage of first-generation students in the UC system. So about 73% of our students are the first in their family to go to college. So we do have a lot of resources geared towards first-generation students as well. And you can also see a snapshot of the disciplines that our students are currently studying. We have our School of Social Sciences, Humanities, and Arts, we have our School of Engineering, and our School of Natural Sciences. We do offer 24 different majors within the 3 schools that I just mentioned. No impacted majors. Students have the flexibility to change their major if they'd like. And we also do offer research. Research is the core of our function. We are #1 in the UC system for student participation in undergraduate research and creative projects. Over 60% of our students do engage in some sort of research on campus. And it is not just limited to STEM. There is so many opportunities across all the different majors, whether you want to do research in political science, psychology, economics, there's an opportunity across all the different areas at UC Merced. We also do offer our living learning communities where you get to live with students who have similar interests and educational goals with academic, social, and personal resources across the campus. They were created to enhance student learning and bridge gaps between students in and out of the classroom experiences. So there is a total of 6 different LLCs that we have to offer. And we also do have so many student support services on campus, such as our Center for Career Professional Advancement. We are #1 in the UC system for students who receive a master's degree and #2 in the UC system for students who receive a PhD. After 5 years, 48% of alumni are attending or have attended a graduate, professional, or technical school, and about 88% of our alumni are employed. We are also #1 among public universities and outperforming expected graduation rate. And there's plenty of ways that you can get involved at UC Merced. We do have over 200 clubs and organizations, which include social justice initiatives, student government, women's programs, fraternity and sorority life, LGBTQ initiatives. And even though we already have over 200 clubs and organizations, you really are able to create your own opportunities. Most of these clubs and organizations were started by students themselves because they wanted to connect with people with similar interests. So this really does reflect that pioneering spirit of UC Merced because you are helping shape the campus as it grows. And we also do host over 700 events per year. Our campus activity board, they host our very popular campus events. So if you've heard of that music festival out in the Coachella Valley during the springtime in April called Coachella, well, at UC Merced, we have Coachella. So if you can't make it out to Coachella for any reason, well, then you have an alternative option at UC Merced. We have our DJs and artists and different people that come out and perform for our students. There's a little carnival going on as well. So you won't be missing out. You'll have a great time as well at Coachella at UC Merced. And some other events that we have is our sold out poetry jam, treats and beads, our annual dance off. One of my favorite events is Camp Jericho, where we bring up many comedians out to our campus, and it's also free for our students. So there's a lot of things for you to do and get involved with our campus. You won't ever feel like, what should I do now? Because our campus is always hosting different things for our students to get involved. So now we're going to shift gears, and I will pass it over to my colleague Jason, who will be talking to you about the Count Me In process.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jason. I'm a systems analyst here at UC Merced. And I kind of wanted to go over with you kind of what Count Me In is, as well as an example of the process that we take in order to create a submission. As long as you've met the minimum requirements for UC admission, we've provided this opportunity to you. If you have not yet gained admissions to the campuses for which you've applied, but you meet those requirements, we've sent you these emails out so that you can complete a submission. So it's an invitation-only program, and then you can select your preferred major when you complete it. So let's go over the process with you. So there's two ways in which you can enter the form to make your submission. The first is via the email link that we sent to you. It's a personalized link that will pre-fill some information about who you are, and then you verify that information in order to make a preferred major selection, and then optionally receive an email confirmation. And the other way is to go through our Count Me In website, which we will have linked here at the end, and then you can verify your information that way and continue along the same path. So let's do a quick live demo of what it's like to enter from the Count Me In website. So as you can see here, when you click the link from the Count Me In website to go through a lookup, you enter your lived or legal first name, as well as your email address, and our system will find you. You can enter you need to use the information that was entered at your UC application. And so you want to verify that that information is correct. The other method is via the personal link that was provided to you. So if you click the personal link that was provided to you, then you will see some pre-filled information, in which case you'll enter information from your UC application. And if you were to accidentally enter the incorrect information, I can show you here that it will not locate you, in which case you need to verify that the information matches. We just need the numbers to be within the 8,000 range for the CPID. And so it will say data not matched if you've not been located in our system. But if you have been located in our system because you entered the same matching information from our UC application, then you will see the ability to select a major. So go ahead and review the information here, take a look at our different schools, and you will have the information of all the different schools here with different hyperlinks so that you can check out the majors. So be sure to check those out. You'll also see the undeclared majors there that you can select from. So once you've read about the major that you'd like to enter and then make your selection, you could move on to the next page and then read about some of the requirements that we ask of you. And you want to make sure to check all these boxes, read what the admissions requirements are, make sure that you plan to meet these requirements throughout your final semester. And then at the end, you will submit your form. And on the final page here, it'll be the confirmation of what was submitted, and you'll have the option to review this information and then finally email yourself a copy. When this form has been presented to you, the submission has already been made, but this is just an opportunity to kind of review and to email a copy. So that's pretty much the process in a nutshell of submitting a Count Me In form. So then let's just move on to the timeline here. And so these dates here, you would like to, or you should pay attention here to mostly the first half, where from April 7th through the May 1st. And you can see our deadline is coming up very shortly to submit your form. And then shortly after, you will be receiving the ability to log into the UC Merced Connect platform and get your ID and stuff like that. And so the first major deadline that you have here is May 1st. You want to make sure that if you decide that Merced is right for you and you'd like to come and join us, then submit your intent to register by May 1st. And then the additional requirements will come along later where you need to submit documents and things like that. Your journey won't be done quite yet, but the first real commitment to make is by May 1st, besides signing up for the program here shortly by a few days. So that's it for my timeline and demo.
Thank you so much, Jason. That was wonderful. At this time, we'd like to go ahead and move over to our student highlight. We do have one of our current students on with us, and let me go ahead and pass things over for her introduction. Let me hand things over to Julissa.
Thank you, Ricky. Hi, everyone. My name is Julissa Campos. I'm one of the student ambassadors from UC Merced, and I'm currently a third year majoring in psychology and minoring in public health. My goal after undergrad is hopefully getting into a PA program and being involved in women's health. Like shown there, I'm originally from Madera, California, which is here within the Central Valley, only 45 minutes away going south. So I'm a small town girl. Why I chose UC Merced? I chose UC Merced because of the friendly environment and it being a small campus. When I took a tour here with my high school, I fell in love with the size. Everyone was so welcoming and friendly. Like if you had a question, they were like, oh my God, like I'll go help you. Like, oh, do you know where this building is? And they're like super friendly, like I said. I know that UC Merced is quite smaller compared to our sister campuses, but let me tell you why that's a good thing. The smaller the campus is, there's less competition, and it's a great thing. There's a higher chance for you to get involved in student clubs, research opportunities, and Greek life. I'm currently in one of the social sororities, and if you're interested in Greek life, I recommend you to put yourself out there. You gain some leadership skills. You make some spontaneous memories with your sisters, with your brothers, whether that may be a social sorority or a professional fraternity. So not only do we have social frats, like I said, we also have professional frats. So some examples are pre-med, pre-health, pre-law, and business. And another thing is that our student to teacher ratio is 21:1, meaning there's better chances for you to ask questions with your professors within office hours. You can just walk into office hours without making an appointment, which is pretty cool. And you're able to establish great connections for resume letters or later when you apply for a job. That's going to be very beneficial. For my first year, when I lived on campus, I lived in one of the newest fall 2018. It was a Glacier Point. I lived in the 6th floor. And the cool thing about that building is that each floor had a living learning community. And so for example, the 4th floor, I think it was Beyond the MD, which is full of pre-med students. It was typically biology majors. And then for my 6th floor, it was a computer coding class. And these classes counted towards your transcript. So it was like a 1-unit course, and which was pretty cool because you got the extra grade and you also got to know your floor mates. And when it comes to making friends, you could do this anywhere during discussion, during a dance club. You could always make friends in the dining hall. When it comes to food options, we have the DC, the Pavilion, which is one of our newest dining hall centers, and which works with the swipe system. One swipe and it's a buffet style. You can get up and like serve your own food. So yeah, there's definitely ways to get involved, definitely lots of ways to make new friends. I know one of the questions is asked, okay, yeah, there's lots of cool stuff on campus. What is there to do outside of campus? Like Merced is kind of small, like what do you do for fun? So like how Ashley previously mentioned she said that UC Merced is in the middle of California. Almost everything is 2 hours away. Santa Cruz is 2 hours away. If you want to go to the Bay, if you want to go visit San Francisco, it's 2 hours away. If you want to go take a hike to Yosemite, that's 2 hours away. So everything is almost around you. You could take a road trip with your friends. And also if you want to stay local, if you want to take the cat tracks, and if you don't have a car, since I know first years are recommended to live on campus, there's also great dining areas here in downtown. I usually go with my housemates to one of my personal faves, which is Little Oven. I usually go there downtown. So yeah, I hope my few words were beneficial for you, and thank you for listening. Thank you for coming out today. I'll pass it back to Ricky.
Thank you so much, Jaleesa. That was wonderful. So actually, I do have a question. I'd like to toss it back over to you to get us started for the live question and answer session. So you did mention that you lived on campus in one of the residence halls. Could you give us a little bit of your experience of how safe you felt on campus?
Yes, campus safety. The cool thing about our campus is that we do have these blue lights, and from like they're all around the campus. So for like anywhere you stand, actually from like 2 feet away, you're able to see another like little blue is like a little star, like a blue campus light. And cat cops are always around there. They're always checking out whether to see like if there's anything sketchy going on, which is, I haven't personally ever used the light or like I've called cat cops because I've never felt like in a way to like that I was scared. So I'd say campus is pretty safe so far.
Wonderful, thank you. And I'd like to go ahead and toss this back out to our panel. So we do have Jaleesa here as a student, but also Jason and Ashley. Can someone hop on screen with us and just explain how the Count Me In program, if it's any different or how it may be different than regular admissions?
Yeah, so the Count Me In program, the only difference is that the timeline is much shorter than the regular admissions. So with the regular admissions, you had more time with your application and just the next steps presentations that come after that. But with CMI, you just have that shorter timeline.
Thank you, Ashley. And also along those same lines, how does the Count Me In program change, if at all, for students who are applying for financial aid? Are they still considered for the same types of financial aid and scholarships?
Yes, definitely. So as long as you add UC Merced as soon as possible to your financial aid application, if you've already submitted it, then within 2 to 3 weeks, you'll receive a financial aid package as well.
Great. And do we know the timeline and how quickly a student will find out if they are admitted or provisionally admitted after they've accepted the Count Me In program?
That will also take about 2 to 3 weeks after the deadline, which is next week. So after that deadline, it would probably be around 2 to 3 weeks that you would find out about that as well. Yeah, so as you can see on this timeline, the last day to submit your CMI is on April 18th. So 2 to 3 weeks from there.
Great, thank you, Ashley. And that is a great opportunity right now, actually, for you to take a screenshot or use your smartphone to take a picture of this timeline. It is something that we'll make available to you in various emails when you get different things, or you'll see it on websites with dates and deadlines, but this would be a great opportunity for you to take a picture so you can reference that later on. The next question I'd like to toss out has to do with research opportunities. Ashley, maybe you can help us with this one. What types of research opportunities does UC Merced offer to our students?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, we have so many different research opportunities. We do have our UROC Center, which is our research center where you can go and look for opportunities there. Now, you can always reach out to your professors. A lot of our professors, their main job is to do research at UC Merced, and their second job is to teach. So you can always work with your professors to find research opportunities if you are interested in what they're working on. But really, like I said, there's opportunities across all the different majors and areas at UC Merced.
Amazing. And what about internships? Can you offer any information on internship opportunities?
Yeah, so we do have our career center where you can always go and look for internships there. Sometimes some of our students get internships through their research as well, or you can always create your own research opportunities. I did have a friend who created her own internship on campus, a marketing internship, because she was interested in marketing but was looking for opportunities on campus. And so she went to the athletic center and asked if they needed a marketing intern, and they took her on even though they didn't have a position. So you can always create your own opportunities as well if you want to do something on campus.
Wonderful. And also, what types of clubs or student organizations do we have on campus? And hopefully one of our chatters and friends behind the scenes can offer a link in the chat that can go to that website for everyone.
Yeah, so you can go to catlife.ucmerced.edu to view all of the current organizations that we have to offer. You can always filter them out based on what you're interested in. So if you're looking for an engineering club or organization, you can just filter out to show you all those engineering organizations. But we have multicultural orgs, we have social organizations. Like Jaleesa mentioned, we have fraternities and sororities as well. So anything that you're looking for, UC Merced pretty much has it. But like I said, if we don't already, you're more than welcome to create your own clubs and organizations as well.
Great. And as just a quick reminder again to our audience, if you do have questions, feel free to use the Q&A button at the lower portion of the screen to get those questions sent in, and we can get those presented to our expert panelists. Also a reminder, if you happen to miss one of our previous Become a Bobcat events, or you just want to replay this one later on, just give us a couple days and we do get these recordings posted on the Become a Bobcat website. We do have links there also for upcoming events, so take a moment to take a look over at that website for Become a Bobcat, a virtual series. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure that you don't miss out on any upcoming replays as well. Let's go ahead and take a look here. What other questions are coming in? And thank you to everyone who is engaging with us tonight. We're getting a number of questions coming in. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So Ashley, can you talk a little bit about our plans for the fall? I know students are wondering if we're online or in person, and I know that Vice Chancellor Neese did touch on that a bit. Do you have anything additional that you can share?
Yeah, so we are planning to be in person in the fall, hopefully, but of course we're working with CDC guidelines. So if you'd like to see any current updates, you can always visit our website, and we are constantly updating on there as well, so that you can stay up to date with how we're planning to come back to campus and be safe.
Great, thank you, Ashley. Also, we have a number of questions coming in regarding our residence halls and the educational programs and what housing is like and dining. Would you be able to share some information about that? And also our behind the scenes chatters, if they can provide some links in our chat, that would be helpful as well.
Yeah, so we do have brand new housing, and even the housing that has been around for a while. It's more modern, more spacious. So we do have a quad, a triple, a double, and a single option. But don't worry, even in the quads, you're gonna have plenty of space for yourself because they are built for 4 people. But each resident or each dorm comes with a bed, it comes with a desk, a chair, some closet space. So you have plenty of space for yourself. You're more than welcome to bring your own amenities, whether it's a mini fridge or microwave, as long as it's not open flame. You're pretty much able to bring whatever you like. You can apply for housing after 24 hours after submitting your statement of intent to register. So that is an option. You can select your preferences. If you want a room with a specific roommate, that's also an option that you have on the application. But yes, I mean, personal experience, I loved living on campus my first year. You're able to, meet other people, especially if you're in a living learning community. You have the opportunity to create your own community within the campus. And also everything's very convenient. The dining center is right down from your dorm. There's student services and your academic classrooms downstairs as well. So it's really a great experience to live on campus. And maybe Julissa can add to that as well if you lived on campus.
Yes, I actually have lived on campus. I lived my first semester on campus. So like I said, there are living learning communities within your dorms. I know Glacier has one. I'm not sure about the other ones, but in terms of how much housing is, it all depends. Like the more people you live with, the less expensive it is. When you do live on campus, there are more ways to be involved. I know some resources we have on campus might be like PAWS, which are students who previously took in the class and they help you with your studies. You're more easy to go to office hours since you live on campus. And what's a requirement for students to live on campus? Thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you both for that great information. So what you see on your screen now is the Contact Us page that we wanted to share with you. Again, this is a great opportunity to take a screenshot or grab your smartphone. You can either take a picture, you can also scan that convenient QR code that you see down there in the corner. That will take you to our tours page, so you can take a look at what different tour options we have, which we did mention, the virtual tours and the drive-through tours. So make sure you take a look there. We'll also give you a little bit more information about that before we wrap up our event in just a little bit. The other information that you see there does include all of our social media platforms. So we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and that YouTube channel where you will find all of the replays for Become a Bobcat, a virtual series, as well as many other events that we hold throughout the year. Once again, the contact information for the Office of Admissions is there, as well as that deadline of April 18th. So once again, this is a great place for you to take a picture and also scan that QR code. All right, jumping back into our questions. So will a preferred major, do we have any selected majors that are impacted? Ashley, can you address that?
Yeah, so none of our majors are impacted at UC Merced. So once you're on campus, you're easily able to explore your options, take courses in different majors. And then if you'd like to change your major later on, you're more than welcome to switch majors if you like. So that is the benefit of coming to UC Merced, coming to a small campus, is that none of our campuses are impacted. We do have some of our more popular majors. We have our mechanical engineering, computer science engineering, biology, management, business economics, and psychology. So those are like the top 5 popular majors. But even then, the courses are not impacted. You're easily able to get all the courses you need to graduate within the 4 years.
Wonderful. And moving on into an option, are students able to transfer from UC Merced to another UC campus?
It's possible, but we don't recommend it. We recommend you finish at the UC that you started. Our transfer options they're geared more for community colleges, but it is an option if that is something that you would like to do.
And also, Ashley, and maybe even Julie, you might want to mention as well, if you have experience, what types of sports do we offer at UC Merced, both university sponsored as well as club sports?
Yeah, so we have 4 sports under the division. We are NAIA. We have basketball, cross country, soccer, and volleyball. So for both women's teams and men's teams. Under club sports, we do have our water polo team. We have a swim team. And there's a few other ones as well. And we also offer intramural sports. So if you're interested in playing a sport that we don't have under the division or under as a club, then you can always join or create an intramural sport as well and play competitively with other students on campus.
Great. Thank you so much for that. Now, someone on our expert panel, if you guys can touch on how a student that is in this program or any UC Merced potential student that's incoming, how they would be able to accept their UCMnet ID.
You can just go to our website to claim your UCMnet ID. You need your first name, last name, and email that you used on your UC application, as well as that 7-digit number that starts with an 8, so your application ID. You'll input that information and it will give you a claim number. Once you receive that claim number, you can come back into the website, input your claim number, and you'll be able to get access to your net ID and create a password. And from there, you can log in into your Connect platform. So that information will be sent out in maybe the next 1 to 2 weeks. So that way you can get access to your Connect platform.
Thank you. The next question that we have coming in, if a student opts into the Count Me In program and they do get accepted, do they still have an option to decline admissions, or is that initial acceptance, is that a binding decision?
Receiving admission from the submission of this form does not bind you to any commitment. So once you receive this admission, let's say you submit your Count Me In form, and then we say, hey, here's your UCMnet ID, or come claim it. You can log into your UC Merced Connect portal. You can view your decision, and we say, hey, we've admitted you. Be sure to submit your statement of intent to register by May 1st. By that date, May 1st, you need to make that decision, if you'd like to commit to us. And then when you submit that statement of intent to register, or SIR, that's when you will be deciding, I'd like to make my deposit and I'd like to officially commit to this. So it's not binding before you make that specific commitment, which is your statement of intent to register.
Great, thank you, Jason. The next question, if you're admitted to the fall of 2021, but you'd like to hold off until the following spring, is that an option?
So you're not able to choose the term that you are accepted to. The university will determine that. So once you submit your application, depending on things, you can either be admitted to the fall or the spring, but you do not have the option to select which term you are admitted to.
Thank you, Ashley. And now I'd like to move over to the topic of transportation. So can one of you touch on what types of transportation options do our Bobcats have available to them? And also, what are the rules behind bringing vehicles to campus?
I can answer that question. So for first years, there are not allowed to have a car on campus, and that is because we would like the first years to live on campus within the dorms. But in terms of transportation and like going downtown, we do offer the cat tracks. And then if you do want to take road trips, I do believe we offer zip cars. The only way you could have a car on campus, that is if you live with the 55-mile radius from campus, that is if you live within Madera, Merced, Modesto, you're able to have a car on campus, or if you have like a disability, or if you do work. But other than that, first years are not allowed to have a car, since we do offer cat tracks transportation.
Great. And can Ashley, or actually anyone on the expert panel here, can you talk a little bit more about cat tracks and what that is exactly and how that works?
Yeah, so that is our bus system just specifically for UC students. So it is for free as long as you have your CAT card ID, you're able to get on the bus for free, but it will take you around the city. It'll go to downtown, it'll go all over the place to Amtrak if you need to get to the Amtrak. But yes, it is our bus system. There's quite a few buses that will go around, even to the residential areas. So once you live off campus, you can also take that on and off campus.
Wonderful. Another question that's come in from one of our viewers here. Someone is asking, is it easier if they attend a community college first and then transfer into the UC, or if they try to come straight to UC Merced?
That's a great question. So since our transfer process is more geared towards community college, we do recommend that you probably start at a community college and then transfer in to a UC of your choice.
If someone opts into the Count Me In program for UC Merced, does that prevent them from accepting a waitlist position offer from another UC?
It does not. So because a lot of waitlists, they won't let you know after May 1st. That is where you have to decide whether you'd like to wait or not, but we don't recommend it because it's not guaranteed that you'll get off the wait list. But if you get accepted to the Count Me In, as long as you don't SIR and you want to accept the wait list offer, then you're more than welcome to. Again, it's not binding as long as you don't submit your statement of intent to register. Otherwise, you will not receive your deposit if you withdraw after submitting your SIR.
Thank you, Ashley. Another question that is coming in is in regards to whether or not we allow students to bring pets on campus.
As much as we would all like to bring our furry pets on campus, we're not allowed to just because of, some people may have allergies. So no, we do not allow pets on campus.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. I know I would miss my fur babies if I couldn't bring them too. So that is a good question. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look and see what other questions we have coming in. So once again, another question is asking, I think we may have touched on this, but that if they get admitted to the spring term, can they take community college courses in the fall? Ashley, can you touch on that once again, since we have had that a couple times?
Yes. So if you are admitted to the spring, you said, and if they could take community college courses?
Yes, between now and spring, would they be able to take community college courses?
I would say no, because you are being admitted as a first-year student. So if you take any community college courses, that would count you as a transfer student.
So another question coming in, someone is asking for a bit more clarification on what exactly the ELC program is, because they do see that on their portal. So they're wondering if they can get a little bit more understanding about what the ELC program is.
Yeah, so if you are top 9% of your high school or I believe your county as well, your district, then you are guaranteed admissions to a UC. So in the case you're not admitted to any other UC that you may have applied to, you will be admitted to, or in this case, offered admissions to a UC that has space. I mean, in this case, it would be UC Merced.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Let's go ahead and continue to scroll here. Once again, thank you to everyone in the audience for submitting your questions. We're getting a lot that are a little bit duplicated, so I'm trying to sort through those here. But once again, use the Q&A button at the lower portion of the screen. If we haven't gotten to yours yet, we will eventually, either behind the scenes or during this live question and answer session. I did have another question regarding transportation. Do we allow our second-year students to bring their vehicles to campus?
I think that depends on space on campus. So there is limited parking space, so you would have to submit a request to our housing to see if you would be able to receive parking on campus.
So are students able to take fall courses at a California community college if they're admitted to the spring semester? Do we have a staff person who can take this question for us?
I believe we did get an update that yes, you can take community college courses at a California community college, but if you were admitted to the spring term.
Yeah, Ricky, I'll just hop on and say that's unique to this program because we are admitting you as a first-year freshman for the spring term. So just for this program, I would say you would able to enroll in community colleges over the fall term. And if you are offered spring, we'll be providing information about the spring offer, what that means, kind of what your restrictions, if any, are. You'll kind of get a conditions of participation that kind of lays out what you need to do for that offer. So more information about that will come if you're offered for the spring term. But yeah, I wouldn't say normally you're allowed to take courses during the fall term because, as Ashley mentioned before, that makes you a transfer student. But for this program, since we're admitting you now-ish as a first-year freshman to start in the spring, you would be allowed to start at the community college if you choose to.
Thank you, Ruben and Ashley, both of you. That was great. The next question someone has here is, how are they able to update their grades that they originally marked as planned on their application?
So once you accept your statement of or accept your admissions to UC Merced, in the summer, we will ask for your official high school transcript. And once that is submitted, we will verify all the courses that you have taken from 9th grade to 12th grade to make sure that you did pass those 12th grade courses. So in the summer, we will verify on your transcript that you passed all your courses. You don't need to update us beforehand, so just submit your official high school transcript.
Great, thank you. So now we have a question coming in about our library. So someone is asking, what is our library like? That they saw a video on YouTube and that it says that UC Merced has one of the bigger libraries in the UC system.
Yes, it's big, it's beautiful, it's 4 floors. Each floor has different options, and the top 4th floor it's the most quietest floor that you can go and study at if you do like to study in a really quiet environment. But also all of our libraries in the UC system are connected. So if you're ever looking for a book or a textbook, but UC Merced doesn't have it, you're more than welcome to request a book from a different UC if they do have it, and they will send it to you for free for you to use for the semester. So that is a nice thing about being part of the UC system, is that all of our libraries are connected. But we do have a beautiful library. There's a lot of sun that comes in, so when you're studying, it's a really nice, like I say, like a nice vibe to studying. So if you can see pictures on our website and how our library looks like.
Thank you, Ashley. So the next question is a little more technical. Do we have a specific number of applicants that we offer the Count Me In program to, or if it's not the offered number, how many we actually accept, or is there a percentage?
I'll hop on again, Ricky, and try and answer that. There's not a percentage. What the University of California tries to do, and we're a partner within that, is we try and offer a place within the University of California system to all the top students within the state of California. So ELC, or eligible in a local context students, is one of those areas. I was just responding to a question, so I'll just mark it as answering live. You can log into your application and click application status to see if you're selected for the ELC program. But there's plenty of you out there now that are probably invited to this program that aren't ELC, because it's not just ELC students. Again, we really try and partner with the University of California, the state of California, to offer all top graduating seniors and students a place at the University of California. And we're proud to partner and offer that space at UC Merced. So not really a percentage. It just depends on how many top California seniors there are that are graduating this year.
Thank you, Ruben. And while you're here, let me go ahead and toss another question out to you, if you don't mind. We have a few folks asking us, what determines which term they are accepted or offered into with that invitation to Count Me In?
So you're choosing to participate in Count Me In, probably preferably for the fall term, we're guessing. We'll review the applications that are submitted and use our normal selection process based on the space that's available to determine how many of the participants we can take to fall. Hopefully it's all of them, but we'll take as many as we can to the fall term. The rest may be offered a spring term, if any at all are offered spring. Unfortunately, on the submission process, you don't get to choose what your preferred term is. We're only asking you what your preferred major is. And again, we'll choose who is admitted to fall and who's admitted to spring, if anyone. At that point, if you're admitted spring and that's a deal breaker for you, then you can choose to decline the offer of admissions, right? And say, nope, sorry, Merced, like I was hoping for fall, spring's kind of a no-go for me. If you're admitted fall and you really want spring, we have some other options for you. We do take normal applications in the month of July for our spring semester. So if you're chosen for fall, then most likely you would need to decline that fall offer and reapply for our spring term in July. So again, we have some options for you depending on which route this goes. Again, around the end of this month, if you choose to participate, you'll get which term you're admitted to. And then you could have a discussion with us by calling us or contacting us, and we'll have a conversation with you of what options we have available for you.
Thank you. And one more question for you, Ruben, if you don't mind. A student is asking us, what happens if they don't pass one of their 12th grade courses and they're unable to make that up? What happens at that point?
Ooh, that's a challenging question. We do, like all other campuses you're probably working with at this moment, we really want you to pass all your courses over the last year that you indicated as in progress and planned. Once you choose to participate in the program, and you get that net ID that we're talking about. So choosing to participate in the program allows us to get a copy of your application. We load that application into our systems and we'll send you an acknowledgement message that we got your application and you have access to our the Connect portal. So once you have access to that, again, if you choose to participate, it takes a while to kind of work its way through there. There's an option through there called the My Course Update that you can let us know once you know that your final grade is below a C grade or better, that you're not going to complete that course as you indicated on your application. So you would need to notify us as soon as possible once you know what your final grade is going to be. One thing we don't really do well with is I might not pass this course. If you could imagine, our response is probably going to be, we recommend you pass that course, right? So again, we want to work with you once you have your final grade, and we'll look at your application and see what options we have for you. So it really depends student to student, what course it was, what your academic history looks like. So we'll review each one of those submissions to determine if that does affect your admissions offer or not.
Great. And one last question coming up here before we get ready to wrap up our live event. What happens if a student is interested in the Count Me In program, but they don't find a major that actually fits their interest? What would you recommend?
So as we've been talking about, Merced is a small, intimate campus. It's what a lot of us like about the campus. I would say one drawback to that is we don't have hundreds of majors like our larger sister campuses. So yeah, our majors might not fit what you're interested in, and that's going to be a decision that you and your friends and loved ones might need to talk about and decide is, are you interested in UC Merced as a campus and the location and all the things we have to offer you in your four-year degree? And are you willing to study a different major perhaps to get that offering? If major is a key thing for you, then you might want to look at some other options that you have, unfortunately.
Thank you, Ruben. And one last question. Is the Count Me In program invitation, is that a guaranteed admissions offer for students who have been invited?
Yeah, Count Me In, as the name implies, you are counting yourself into our campus. The thing that you're not sure about at this point, like we just talked about not long ago, is what term that offer will be. So you're going to get in. Again, hopefully it's the fall term. It might be the spring term. The other thing you don't know is if you'll get your preferred major or not. So we will again take as many students as we can to their preferred major, but there may be some that we need to offer another option to, like an undeclared option. And you'll be provided that information when you're admitted. So again, this is just saying, Merced, get a copy of my application. We'll get a copy of your application, review it, determine what term you'll be admitted to and what major you'll be admitted to, and then let you know of that decision. But the one thing that you do know is that you will be admitted to UC Merced.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ruben, and everyone else that's been on our expert panel this evening, and everyone behind the scenes answering those questions. We received a lot of them. So also a big thank you to all of our audience members tonight for engaging with us. Now, I do know that we have a lot of questions that came in. If for any reason that you either didn't ask your question or it didn't happen to get answered, or you maybe just think of something later on, feel free to use that contact information on your screen right now that you can go ahead and send an email to the admissions email address there. You can also give a phone call over to that phone number that's listed. We also have all the great social media channels that you can also reach us at all of those. I know I did see a question earlier asking if we do reply to direct messages, and yes, we do our best to get to those. So also feel free to use that messaging option as well. There is the QR code in the lower corner of your screen. You can go ahead and get a picture of that as well to get more information on our virtual tours. At this time, what I'd like to do is thank everyone for joining us. This has been part of our Become a Bobcat virtual series. We will provide you that website so you can take a look at both the replay opportunities as well as upcoming events that we are offering in the next few weeks. That website is available to you now in the chat. Before I let you go this evening, I would also like to promote our drive-through tours. How fun would it be to drive your vehicle to our campus and get a tour from the comfort of your car? We do also provide QR codes there at different location stops that are there, and you can scan that code and get lots of fun information about our beautiful campus directly from Bobcats, our current tour guides there on our UC Merced campus. So take a look at that website as well. Get yourself registered in advance, as well as take a look at the dates and times that that drive-through tour option is available to you. Once again, it's been a great pleasure being with you here tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you at a future Become a Bobcat virtual series event. Have a wonderful evening.